Hey, welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're digging into the final and honestly, the most crucial step of the GRACE framework. It's called embedding. This is the secret sauce, the thing that makes all your hard work actually stick and turn into real lasting change.
You've totally been here, right? You get inspired, you commit to a new habit, maybe it's planning your day or getting up a bit earlier, you're crushing it for a week, maybe two, and then, poof, it's gone. It's so frustrating. But I want you to hear this. It's not a personal failing, it's a system failing.
See, most of us try to make changes by just using willpower. But that's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. You can do it for a while, sure, but it takes a ton of energy. And the second you get distracted, that ball just pops right back to the surface. A system, though, a system does the work for you. It makes the right thing the easy thing.
And that is exactly what embedding is all about. This isn't about trying harder or gritting your teeth. Not at all. It's about building a smart, sustainable system inside your brain. It's literally like we're installing an autopilot for your best self. Now, I really want you to notice the key words here. Small, repeatable, and part of who you are. Embedding isn't some huge, heroic push. Nope. It's about reinforcing the change you want to make with these tiny, consistent actions over and over until it stops being something you do and becomes part of who you are.
And look, this isn't just some feel-good idea. This is straight-up neuroscience. Every single time you repeat an action, you are physically strengthening the neural pathways for that behavior in your brain. You're paving a road. Do it enough, and that road becomes a superhighway. The behavior becomes effortless. That's the autopilot we're building.
Okay, so how does this habit engine actually fire up? What's going on under the hood that turns a conscious, difficult choice into an unconscious, easy routine? Let's get into the mechanics. It really all boils down to this incredibly simple but powerful three-step loop. First, you've got a cue or a trigger. That's the signal that tells your brain, hey, time to run that program. Second is the routine. That's the action itself, the behavior. And third, and this is so important, is the reward. That's the little burst of satisfaction that tells your brain, oh yeah, that was good. Let's remember this loop for next time.
So one of the best ways to create a really solid cue is by using a technique that's an absolute game changer. It's called habit stacking. Instead of trying to invent a new habit out of thin air, you just piggyback it onto something you already do every single day without even thinking about it.
And it really is this simple. For most of us, pouring that morning coffee is a habit set in stone. So by stacking a new desired habit, like opening your to-do list, right after it, you're using the momentum of that old habit to launch the new one. The coffee becomes the trigger. It's brilliant. Okay, so let's walk through the full 5-step process. First, choose a tiny habit, something so small you can't say no, like flossing just one tooth. Second, tie it to a rock-solid trigger, like we just talked about. Third, track it visually. You have to see your progress. Putting an X on the calendar feels so good. Fourth, just repeat. Be patient. And finally, once it's totally automatic, then you can evolve it. You can go from one tooth to a few and eventually to your whole mouth.
Theory is great, right? But what does this actually look like in the messy, real world? Let's check out how a couple of people used embedding to make some pretty big changes and what tools helped them get there.
So let's take Lena. She's a manager, and she really avoided giving constructive feedback. So her embedding habit was simple. After every single team meeting, she would give just one piece of feedback. The meeting was the trigger. Then there's Ade, a student who procrastinated a lot. He embedded one 25-minute focused study sprint into his morning routine. For both of them, a really small, repeatable action led to a huge, positive outcome.
And the good news is, you've got tools to help you out. You're not alone in this. Your GRACE journal is perfect for defining that little habit. Habit tracker apps are awesome for that visual tracking we talked about. Seriously, even a simple sticky note on your monitor can be the perfect trigger. And don't ever underestimate the power of telling a friend. An accountability partner can make all the difference.
Now, the tools are great, but your mindset, it's just as crucial, if not more so. You got to have patience. Habits are like plants. They don't sprout overnight. And you have to value consistency over intensity. A 2-minute action every day is way more powerful than a 2-hour marathon once a month. But most important of all is self-compassion. You're gonna miss a day. It happens. The goal isn't perfection, it's just getting back on track.
Okay, let's switch gears a little. It's your turn. We're going to do a quick personal check-in. No grades, no judgment. This is just for you to get curious about how these ideas are working in your own life.
First off, think about the last time you tried to make a change. Do you have a tiny, super specific action that goes with it? Not a vague goal like be healthier, but something you can actually do, like after lunch, I will walk around the block once. Just take a second and think about that. Is it specific? Is it small?
Okay, second question. That little habit, does it have a clear launch sequence? Is it really truly connected to something you already do? That after I will formula is your best friend here. Because if the trigger is fuzzy, you can bet the habit will be too.
Third, are you giving your brain that little cookie, that reward of seeing your progress? Are you putting a big X on a calendar, checking a box? Something, anything that makes your progress visible. That visual proof is like fuel for your motivation.
Next, let's talk consistency. Have you been doing it long enough to start paving that neural superhighway we talked about? Can you feel it getting just a little bit easier? Even a tiny bit? That's the feeling of a habit starting to form.
And last, but maybe most importantly, what happens when you slip up? What's the voice in your head sound like? Is it a drill sergeant or is it a kind coach? Please remember, one missed day doesn't break the habit. The real skill, the one that makes all the difference, is just getting back on track. And this, right here, this is what it's all about. Embedding is the bridge that connects what you do with who you are. It's how the GRACE framework stops being a method you're just trying out and becomes the way you actually live your life. So my question for you is, what's the one small thing you'll embed today to start becoming the person you want to be tomorrow?